Dr. James Whitmore stood in the observation chamber, staring at the lush emerald world below. Zephyr 7 rotated slowly against the vast darkness of space. Its continents sprawled across azure oceans like scattered jewels. The architects had called him here personally, and he still couldn't believe it. The transmission had arrived 3 weeks ago, not on any human frequency, but directly into his neural implant. A single message from an intelligence so ancient that their civilization had already risen and fallen before humans discovered fire. We have chosen you. James was a xenobiologist, not a leader. He studied microorganisms and soil composition. Yet somehow, the architects, the mysterious race that seeded life throughout the cosmos, had deemed him worthy of an impossible task: to be the first human to repopulate Zephyr 7, a planet whose original inhabitants had mysteriously vanished millennia ago. The gravity lift hummed beneath his feet as he descended toward the surface. Through the transparent walls, he watched the landscape materialize. Towering forests with crystalline trees caught the sunlight, refracting it into 1,000 dancing colors. Vast plains of silver grass swayed gently, though James couldn't see any wind. In the distance, mountains pierced the clouds like the teeth of some slumbering giant. The landing site was pristine. Structures, not ruined, but perfectly preserved, dotted the landscape. James understood then. This wasn't colonization. This was inheritance. The architects were giving him a world, complete with its infrastructure, its knowledge, its history frozen in time. An interface activated as soon as he stepped outside. Holographic displays materialized in the air, scrolling through information in a language James somehow understood instinctively. The architects had prepared him through his neural implant, downloading centuries of data directly into his consciousness. He knew Zephyr 7's climate patterns, its resources, its biology. He knew how to survive here, but survival wasn't a challenge. It was purpose. Over the first months, James explored methodically. He activated the vast agricultural systems buried beneath the soil, machines that had lain dormant for 10,000 years, yet functioned perfectly. He studied the archives in the crystalline towers, learning about the architect's purpose. They didn't create life randomly. They engineered civilizations as experiments in consciousness, testing different paths to enlightenment. The previous inhabitants of Zephyr 7 had chosen war. They had destroyed themselves utterly. The architects showed James their failures and successes across the galaxy. Thousands of species, countless worlds. Humanity was next, but they wouldn't send billions. They would send one, a witness, a gardener, a teacher for those who would come after. James realized what he truly was, not a colonizer, but a bridge between what had been and what would be. He began the work methodically. He sent transmissions back to Earth, not asking permission, but offering invitation. He spoke of a world without scarcity, without the resource wars that plagued humanity's cradle planets. A fresh start, a second chance. The first volunteers arrived after 2 years. 100 people, scientists, farmers, engineers, children. James stood at the landing site, watching them descend. Some wept at the beauty. Others fell to their knees, overwhelmed. He didn't act as a leader in the traditional sense. Instead, he guided. He taught them the systems. He showed them the archives and let them understand what had happened here. Most importantly, he reminded them daily, this world had destroyed its previous inhabitants. The choice of how Zephyr 7's future would unfold now rested with them. More ships arrived, thousands, then millions. A new civilization began to bloom. Not a copy of Earth's chaos, but something different, something guided by the weight of knowing what happened when a species forgot that consequences could be catastrophic. James stood on a hilltop decades later, his body aging while the world around him seemed to grow younger. Cities of crystal and light rose toward the sky. The forest had expanded. The silver plains teemed with carefully cultivated life. He received a final message from the architects. You have passed the test. Humanity will inherit their place among the chosen. James smiled, understanding at last. He hadn't been chosen to repopulate a planet. He had been chosen to teach a species how to deserve one. And in doing so, Zephyr 7 wasn't just humanity's future, it was their redemption.